While Russia is actively increasing the presence of its aviation in the east of Ukraine, the Ukrainian army is successfully destroying enemy aircraft. We are talking about the Su-34.
The enemy has increased its air presence in the eastern direction. The top military leadership reacted accordingly, and the Air Force does what you can see. It shoots them down far enough. We won't say their exact distance. Russian pilots are no longer so impudent. They don't fly too close. In order for the bomb to fly further, they need to fly closer, because the bomb glides. It doesn't have its own engine. It glides and flies, descending and losing speed. Therefore, in order to shoot further, pilots need to take risks. Taking risks, they end up in stories like today's downing of the Su-34. Yuri Ignat, spokesperson for the Air Force of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, on the air of the Ukrainian National Teleson.
The eastern direction of the front turned into a cemetery for Russian aircraft in the last month of winter. Thus, on February the 29th, the Ukrainian armed forces destroyed a Russian Su-34 fighter. It became the 11th aircraft that the occupiers have lost since February the 17th. It was on this day that 3 Russian aircraft were shot down, 2 Su-34 fighter bombers and a Su-35 fighter. On February the 27th and the 26th, it became known that 2 more Su-34s had been destroyed, and on February the 23rd, an A-50 reconnaissance plane was shot down over the Sea of Azov.
February 29th is a date that falls once every 4 years, but it is already a familiar day for Russians. Of the loss of another aircraft, 1 more Su-34 down in the eastern direction. Thanks for the work. Mykola Oleshchuk, commander of the Ukrainian Air Force, on Telegram.
Professional training of the Ukrainian military from air defense units, additional technical means from the West made it possible to effectively destroy enemy aircraft, emphasized the President of Ukraine, Volodymyr Zelensky.
As for the A-50 and other enemy aircraft, in any case, this is the result of our alliance between Ukraine and our partners. It would be very difficult for Ukraine without an alliance with partners, and in some areas it would be impossible to defend our state. If a plane is operating over the temporarily occupied territory of Ukraine, we use weapons from international partners, and if in other directions, then we use Ukrainian weapons.
To destroy Russian aviation, Ukrainian military personnel also use modernized S-200 missile systems, as supposed by many. Military experts believe that the number of attacks on Russian aircraft will continue to grow into the quality of them. After all, in addition to Soviet systems, the armed forces of Ukraine are armed with the Western long-range missile systems, Patriot, SAM-T and the Franken-SAM hybrid system.
It is old and limited in mobility, but can shoot at a distance of 250 kilometers. Deployment and assembly time standards are up to 24 hours with missile assembly and propellant refueling. Such successful hits are explained by the possible usage of this wandering air defense system and the massive usage of fighter jets by the Russian armed forces to strike along the entire front line. Igor Romanenko, founder of the Let's Close the Sky Over Ukraine charitable foundation, Lieutenant General, in an interview with Focus magazine.
It is worth noting that the cost of the Su-34 bomber reaches $50 million, whereas the price of the A-50 reconnaissance plane is $330 million, and the modernized versions are much more expensive. Based on information in open sources, Russia has produced more than 140 Su-34 aircraft. The first 100 were produced by 2016. Since the outbreak of the full-scale war against Ukraine, at least 38 bombers have been shot down by Ukrainian air defenses. Reported by Diana Kolesnik, Yulia Granovska, UATV News.